It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, and 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
I've been waiting all season long to make the trip out to my favorite racetrack on this schedule, but here we are, finally, at the Darlington Raceway in Florence County, South Carolina, and we are here at this 1 1/3 mile egg-shaped racetrack, the granddaddy of all super speedways, for this, the Turkey Hill 250. We have a good one coming in here. 4 races left until we crown a champion in Season 2 of the Scots National Series. This is race 27 of 30, and coming into this race after the caution-free race at Michigan last weekend, Josephine O'Neill comes in 702 points to the championship, 25 points ahead of Dale Lightning, 46 ahead of Quentin Moore, 56 ahead of Joshua Harrison, 58 ahead of Carter Joey, 64 ahead of Alex Watts, 66 ahead of John Andrews, 79 ahead of Jackson Harrison, 81 ahead of Matt Tuck, and rounding out the top 10 points, we have a tie once again for the 10th position, Max Anderson and Louis Zankala, 84 points behind Josephine O'Neill. Louis Zankala is going to get the tiebreaker there by virtue of the number of wins he has. He has 3, Anderson has none. Although, the way it's ordered here on this spreadsheet I've got here, it's actually the average finishing position that is breaking the tie for Max Anderson's in Max Anderson's favor there. But let's just pretend that Zankala is higher up on that list. But anyway, we are ready to get racing here at Darlington, and it's a new face on the pole position here at Darlington. It's Brennan Wilmington on the pole position. He is starting alongside Logan Alexander, the 55. In row number 2, we find Vic Merlin there in the 13 alongside Riley Snare. Row 3, we find Mike Cook alongside Quentin Moore, who's 3rd in the point standings. Row 4, we find Reagan Whitlock alongside points leader Josephine O'Neill. Rounding out the top 10, we find Igor Barretto there in the 84, coming in 16th in points, starting alongside the 98 of NS Racing's Caleb Rose. And I believe we have everybody rolling on the grid here. I had to make sure because this is the second time we've tried to get them going, and looks like they are all good and rolling off of the pit road this time. So we're going to have a race here at the Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. The granddaddy of super speedways. The track that got its iconic egg shape because of a minnow pond on the outskirts of turn 1 and 2, I believe. Because the man who owned the lake didn't want to give up his property, and so they just built around it, and thus Darlington has its egg shape. We are more than ready to get this one going. It's about 1.5 grooves in the turns. Unfortunately, nobody starts a race with half a car, but it's going to be a good one anyway here at Darlington. The Turkey Hill 250 is green, green, green. Here on Labor Day weekend, we're racing on the granddaddy of super speedways. Wilmington's going to stretch away from it all. He leads lap number 1 of the Turkey Hill 250. Logan Alexander settles into the second position. Vic Merlin, Riley Snare, and Snare's teammate Mike Cook slipping backwards on the top side. So it'll be Whitlock moving into the 5th position there in the Bojangles number 5. Down the back straightaway they come once again into turn number 3. Alexander closing in once again on Brennan Wilmington, who's coming around to lead lap number 2 here at Darlington Raceway. And Alexander's going to take a look to the inside of Wilmington, headed off into turn number 1. He's going to take the race lead away there in the Advent Health colors. Both races here on Darlington weekend last fall run under a cloudy sky, and we got another cloudy day here in Florence County. Logan Alexander now leads the way. The last time we came here, Bradley Ream won the Turkey Hill 250, but of course also the last time we came here, it was 2 races left in the season, and due to the point lead that Kip Silverpoint had built up coming into that race, all she had to worry about doing was finishing ahead of her points rivals on the track, and she clinched the championship, which she did, going into the final race of the season at Chicagoland. Meanwhile, up front, Vic Merlin's going to take the position away from Alexander, and a spinner on the back straightaway. A couple of cars around, maybe 3. Jackson Harrison and Madison Tall involved for sure. Rear end damage on the 12, front end damage on the 99, and Landon Smith Jr. may have been back in that as well in the 30 car. So quickly, caution number 1 is out here at the Darlington Raceway, with Vic Merlin leading, Logan Alexander, Riley Snare, Reagan Whitlock, and Brendan Wilmington the top 5. And we're going to see them angle down onto the pit road here early here at the Darlington Raceway. Might end up being a 2-stop race as a result. The Cup cars would expect a 28 to 32 lap fuel run. The tanks here are a little smaller in the Scots National cars. We probably shorten that by about 5 or 10 laps or so, but we'll see how this race goes. Merlin leads the brigade down onto the pit road here at Darlington. Obviously, pole sitter Brennan Wilmington there in the 5th position. See if he can cut his way back up to the front here under this pit stop. As everybody gets down to their stall, there's Wilmington in stall number 1. As nobody stayed out under this caution flag. And now Whitlock comes out of his stall. Is he going to overtake everybody else? Merlin, then Whitlock, Snare, Wilmington, slow to get out of his stall. He's going to lose a few positions, and Alexander slow as well. And now it's an all-out drag race throughout the rest of the field to see who's going to make it out in what positions. But Vic Merlin out on pit, off from the pit road first. Then it's Reagan Whitlock in second, I do believe. As we'll have it all sorted out in just a second. Everybody scrambling around here. There we go. Merlin, Whitlock, Snare. Then Olson. And then it should be, I believe, Cook. Then Wilmington, Bouchard, Alexander. And they'll get it sorted out through the rest of the field as well. Just in time to go back green flag racing here at the Darlington Raceway. There we go. You see them getting into line there, and we'll have a couple more caution laps before we get this show back going here in the Turkey Hill 250. You're part of Turkey Hill Labor Day weekend here on the Trinity River Network. We got this race and, of course, the Turkey Hill Southern 500 tomorrow right here from Darlington Raceway. 74 laps around this 1 1/3 mile racetrack. As everybody gets back in line, let's go back and take a look what happened to bring out caution number 1 here on the back straightaway at Darlington Raceway. So watching as they come through turn number 2, Keith Kent into the back of the 12 of Jackson Harrison, turns that quick trip forward around and up into the wall he goes. There's Madison Toll gets involved. Fitzwater gets a little bit of a piece on the right side there. Landon Smith Jr. somehow avoided getting any bit of contact in that, and it's just a 2-car spin on the back straightaway, Jackson Harrison and Madison Tull. Let's take a look now at another angle. So watching from overhead as they come through turn 2, Kent into the back of Harrison, up into the wall they go, and that spins the 12 around, and Madison Tull, of course, nowhere to go on the back straightaway, runs into the back of the 12, but not a whole lot of damage on either car. They should be able to continue on. Track is clear though, we are good to go, so let's enter the restart here at Darlington. 1 lap away from restarting here at the Darlington Raceway in Florence County, South Carolina, finishing up the first caution of the race involving Jackson Harrison and Madison Tull. Tull, you see with the front end damage there, ran into the backside of Jackson Harrison, and they went into a little spin on the back straightaway. That brought out the first caution of the race, and after pit cycle number 1 of potentially number 2, of potentially 2, it's going to be Vic Merlin leading this thing ahead of Reagan Whitlock, Riley Snare, Eric Olson, and Mike Cook. That's the top 5. Pole sitter Brennan Wilmington fell to 6th on pit road. He was 5th when the caution came out on the racetrack. So Bouchard there in 7th, Logan Alexander 8th, Igor Barreto 9th, and Justin Zeidel rounds out the top 10 here at the Darlington Raceway. We are more than ready to get it started here once again. Coming to lap number 9, we'll have 29 laps remaining in the Turkey Hill 250 this time through. Waiting for the Camaro pace car to take the dive onto pit road. There it goes, and the field about to get turned loose once again here as the green flag getting ready to come out once again. 29 laps remain here in the Turkey Hill 250. Merlin, Whitlock, Snare, Olson, and Cook leading us to the green flag. Here we go. That was a really, really slow restart. Everybody's staying all bogged together up at the front and deeper in the field. Already seeing side by side. 3-time winner Louis Zankala slips up high. Max Anderson, the man who came in tied with Zankala in the points, slipping backwards on the high side as well. Whitlock trying to work the outside, as is Mike Cook. Whitlock will work the top side on Riley Snare, headed off into turn number 1, and will keep the 5 in second. Wilmington slipping backwards on the high side there in the Home Depot colors. Now Snare gets back to the bottom side of Whitlock, will more than clear him for the second position. Eric Olson going after that 5 as well. Bouchard down to the inside in the Subway colors. That's allowing Vic Merlin to pull away. A little over a half-second lead for that 13 car out of Tremera Racing. Off into 1 they go again. Whitlock and Cook now stuck up on the outside. There is genuinely no outside line of turn 1 here. Turn 1 and 2, got to be on the inside. Turn 3 and 4, a little more forgiving given how wide the turns are. How wide the turn radius is anyhow. Here comes Macro down to the inside of Justin Zeidel for that 6th position. Zeidel tried to chop him at the last second. Macro still going to be able to get by, and Whitlock down there on the inside, he's trying to recover. Brennan Wilmington there in the 11 with him, leaving Zeidel up on the top side. Zeidel going to come back on Whitlock. Yes, he will. He'll hold off the 5. So he'll remain in the 7th position. Meanwhile, we check back in up front. Vic Merlin, Riley Snare on top of each other. Daniel Bouchard trying to close in. Olson pushed a little wide there by Logan Alexander, the 55. Down the Boeing back straightaway and into turn number 3. Wilmington around the 90 of Zeidel. Zeidel trying to come back. Couldn't quite nose him out at the line. And Wilmington will have the low line headed off into turn number 1. And he will shoot by with ease. As up front, Bouchard looking to the inside of Merlin for the second position. The 13 trying to work the higher line. And the caution is out once again here at Darlington. And now Landon Smith Jr. has more damage if he didn't have any before. And on the back straightaway once again, by the looks of it. Up into the wall on the top side, a few were involved in this. Max Anderson has damage, and Fitzwater has damage as well. So we had a melee coming out of turn number 2 to bring out the second caution of the Turkey Hill 250, and we're going to see some split here. Those who will come down a second time and likely be good to the end, and those who are going to chance it and stay out on the racetrack. Bouchard's going to be one that stays out. Olson, Macro, Wilmington, Cook, Moore, Barreto, Lopez, Jones, Kelly, Joey, Zankala, Brock, Watts, Hamill, Tuck, Rose, Lightning, Reed, Ruiz, Anderson, and Fitzwater all staying out on track, and Hamill has blown up on the inside there in the 36. Well, so much for staying out, trying to get an advantage. He's just grenaded on the front straightaway. And that is a tough break for the Barstool number 36. That entire Hamill Racing Enterprises team, as they will fall out now of the Turkey Hill 250. Race off of pit road there as they got stopped by the official at the head of the pit, waiting for the field to go by. It looks like it's going to be Alexander ahead of Snare, then Merlin, Crown, Whitlock. The officials are going to have a field day with this one. They're already getting themselves mixed up here tremendously on lap 16 as they come off the pit road. Landon Smith Jr.'s team has just gone ahead and taken the hood off of that 30 car. And looks like he will be good to continue in this one. And despite having 2 incidents already in this race, looks like Derek Hamill is going to be the first car to fall out of the Turkey Hill 250 here at Darlington. As soon as he gets to the pit road here, he will be done here at Darlington. He could not tame the track, too tough to tame. But anyway, field's in the hands of Daniel Bouchard in the 7, Armory Digital winner a few weeks ago. Looking for his second win of the season. Could it come here at Darlington? We'll just have to see. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to bring out caution number 2 here at the Darlington Raceway in Florence County, South Carolina. So this looks like a similar setup to the first caution. Dale Lightning on the inside of Max Anderson, 3 wide, is not something you want to do here at Darlington. So Lightning into the back of Anderson sends him up into the wall. Fitzwater nowhere to go there in car 59. Nick Martin somehow gets by that in the 22, and then the seas will part for Ruiz. Jackson Harrison scoots by on the outside, and Smith Jr. somehow is not able to get by, runs right into the back of the 59, and tears the whole front end up on that 30 car. Let's take a look at another angle. So watching again as they come out of turn 2, Lightning into the back of Anderson, sends the 56 around, Fitzwater spins, and then Landon Smith Jr. nowhere to go, again runs right into the back of the 59, but they are going to continue on, and still the only car out of the race right now is going to be Derek Hamill by virtue of what happened under the pace laps of this caution flag. But anyway, the track is clear, we are good to go, so let's head to the restart here at Darlington. Got the one to go this last time by here at the Darlington Raceway, working the second caution of the race. Second back straightaway incident coming out of turn number 2. And not what we had at all last season as opposed to the way this race has gone already. In last season's Turkey Hill 250, we only had 1 caution flag, and it wasn't even for a spin or a wreck. It was for a stalled car. So, well, we are ready to go back racing here at the Darlington Raceway. Derek Hamill, who blew up while everybody else came down on the pit road. Apparently it's an ignition problem on that bar stool number 36, and he has gone back behind the wall to call it a day here in the Turkey Hill 250. Field is in the hands of Daniel Bouchard for Logan Sport. He is ahead of Eric Olson in the 78. Aiden Macro, the 42, having a good run so far. Pole sitter Wilmington back up to the 4th position there in the Home Depot 11. And rounding out the top 5, Mike Cook. And then you have Quentin Moore looking for a big points day there. Coming in 3rd in the points. They're going to be restarting in the 6th position. Igor Barreto going to be 7th, 2-time winner this season, but having an atrocious season otherwise. Jordan Lopez restarting 8th. Boston Jones in the 9th position, and Alex Kelly rounds out the top 10. We're ready to go back green flag racing here. It's going to be 19 laps to go in the Turkey Hill 250. Green flag is back out in the air. Let's crank it up here at Darlington. Olsen taking a look to the inside there in car 78 on Aiden Macro. Not quite able to make it stick there for 2nd. Wilmington still in the 4th position, but it is Bouchard, Macro, Olsen, Wilmington, and now Lopez going to take a look to the inside there in the drive-through Honda, and he's going to drive right through on the inside of Brennan Wilmington. Boston Jones goes with him. And they will both go into the top 5 and put Wilmington back into the 6th position. Daniel Bouchard continuing to lead the way, coming to 15 laps to go this time here at the Darlington Raceway. And ideally, everyone should be able to make it to the end as far as fuel mileage goes here. Although, slow car on the front straightaway. Landon Smith Jr. is in trouble there in the 30 car. No caution. He may have a blown... Oh, now Keith Kent's in trouble. 2nd mechanical failure we've seen. Well, one that we know for sure. Still don't know what's going on with the 30 of Landon Smith Jr., and it's a camshaft busted on the Combos 83 of Keith Kent, and for all we know, this could just be a tire problem, given all the damage that's on that 30 car. We'll keep an eye on that as Bouchard leads Macro, Olsen, Lopez, and Kelly around here to lap 25. We'll have 13 laps to go here at Darlington. Landon Smith Jr. officially has fallen a lap down. Made it back to the pit area, though. And he is in his stall, just sitting there. We'll see if he's going to be able to get back out on track or not. But anyway, no one has been able to get around Daniel Bouchard since he's been up front leading this thing. He's pit, well, everybody's pit at least once. Some have pit twice. Bouchard is one of those that's only pit once. This looks like Landon Smith Jr. is going to come back out onto the racetrack. Macro closing in closer and closer on Bouchard, taking a look to the inside of turn 3. Looking for the race lead, and Bouchard holds him off for the time being. If Macro wants to make the move, he's going to be he'd be better off making it down in turn number 1, and that's exactly what he's going to do this time. And he's going to take the race lead right away from Daniel Bouchard. Eric Olson there in the 78 on the inside of turn number 2. Wiggles Bouchard a little further wide, and there, oh, that's Landon Smith Jr. coming back out onto the racetrack. But Macro has a solid lead now, coming to 10 laps to go. Caution is out, and a spinner and a big crash over in turn number 1 and 2. Winnie Calhoun, Max Anderson again, Nick Martin's involved. Huge damage on the 20 there, you see. Jackson Harrison, John Andrews involved, Casey Dean involved. Third yellow flag of the race, and now anybody else that needs to come down to the pit road, they'll do it right now. That will eliminate the fuel mileage lottery. And no surprise to see Olson and Bouchard coming down the pit road. Tuck gonna come down on the pit road. Just about everybody who stayed out under the last caution, you can expect them to come down right here. Fitzwater's going to come down a little deeper in the field there in car 59. So only a total of 6 coming down onto the pit road to service their cars under this yellow flag. And we might be taking 6 or more out of the race. Never mind. Anderson's going to come back out on track. Merlin's got big damage there in the 13. Martin's might be done. Calhoun looks like definitely is going to be done. I would say Andrews is going to be done. Don't know if Jackson Harrison might be able to continue. He looks like he has the most minor damage out of everybody on the pit road. I take that back. It's the 97 of Casey Dean. Just a little bit of a nick on the front end there. We'll see if he's going to be able to continue on or not. Martins is done. Calhoun is done. And I can say with almost 100% confidence that Merlin's going to be done. That's a shame for that driver in the 13. He led a good chunk of the beginning part of this race, and now he is done. So we now have the 20 out of Winnie Calhoun. The 22 of Martins is out. Harrison's out. Jackson, that is. John Andrews out. Casey Dean out. Vic Merlin out. So we have 6 cars out of the race as a result of this incident. And that is what oval aficionados call the big one. And we have had it here at Darlington Raceway. After a couple of tame spins coming off of turn number 2, well, with the exception of Landon Smith Jr.'s nose into the outside retaining wall under the second caution of the race. Well, we've had a massive pileup now over in turn 1 and 2. Let's go back and take a look at that before we get back restarted here at the Darlington Raceway. So this incident happened going into turn 1. There's Calhoun in the back of Snare. Snare looks like tried to chop the 20 on corner entry. Points leader Josephine O'Neill gets a little bit of a piece there in the 64. Spins up the track. Reagan Whitlock, very lucky. Very good job to make it through there. Madison Toll sneaks through on the inside, but as Calhoun slides down, Vic Merlin nowhere to go there in the 13. Sends the 20 on her side, and up into the wall goes the 13. Nick Martin's nowhere to go. Center punches the 13. Harrison comes in, and Merlin goes for one heck of a ride on the inside. There's Andrews coming in, Anderson in, and Casey Dean in the 97 as well. So Vic Merlin taking a wild tumble here in turns 1 and 2 at Darlington under this yellow flag. Well, we'll see if we can keep up with everything here. There's Calhoun and Snare getting together. Up into the wall they go. O'Neill makes contact, and as the 20 slides down, here comes Merlin. Bam! Right there. Runs into the 20, and Merlin takes a huge hit from Nick Martins there. And the other cars just come on piling in. Very difficult contact here in turns 1 and 2 here at Darlington. Well, let's go on board with Vic Merlin here as he comes down the front straightaway. You'll see the trouble happen in front of him. And as the 20 slides down, he'll have nowhere to go. Bam! Right there, up into the wall. And here comes the hit from Martin. Oh, lordy. Wild ride for Vic Merlin in the 13. But That incident is why we are under the third caution of the race here in the Turkey Hill 250. The track is clear. We're good to go, so let's maybe decide a winner here at the Darlington Raceway. Got the one to go this last time by here at the Darlington Raceway. Ready to go green flag racing once again here in the Turkey Hill 250. Dale Lightning down on the pit road late in this caution. Something happened to the 77 car, but he's going to come back out onto the racetrack. Everybody letting Landon Smith Jr. fall to the rear of the field as he is 3 laps down. And we now have quite a few cars out of this race after the pile up in turn 1 and 2. At first it was just Derek Hamill, and then after that it was Keith Kent. But now it's Casey Dean, John Andrews, Jackson Harrison, Nick Martins, Winnie Calhoun, and Vic Merlin joining them behind the wall after a miserable crash in turn 1 and 2 to set up a 6-lap dash to the checkered flag here in the Turkey Hill 250. Aiden Macro shows the way there in the credit 142. Jordan Lopez is looking for his 3rd win on the season. He's got Boston Jones behind him. Zan Kayla could be looking for his 4th win of the season. William Brock looking for his 2nd. Quentin Moore looking for his 2nd. Brennan Wilmington looking for his 1st ever Scots National Series win. Watts would be his 2nd. Rose would be his 2nd. Barreto would be his 2nd. Green flag is back in the air. Let's go racing once again here in the Turkey Hill 250. Great launch by Aiden Macro off of the restart there. Down the back straightaway they come, single file through the majority of the positions as they head down the back straightaway, fanning out a little further back though, but up ahead, Brennan Wilmington already making moves on Quentin Moore. You see deep in the field, deep in the front there, but Moore's going to come back on the top side on him and will beat that 11 back to the start-finish line. Caution's out again. 4th yellow flag, I do believe, is out. No, it's still green. I take it back. I thought I saw the yellow flag in the flagman's hands because we've had it so much in this race, I guess. But it's still Aiden Macro leading the way ahead of now Boston Jones as Jordan Lopez fell to the back. And now William Brock's going to come down to the pit road. And so far, it looks like he's going to be the only one. So much for what I said about eliminating the fuel mileage lottery. It may still be in play here. Zan Kayla now to the 2nd position. Jordan Lopez back up to 3rd as Boston Jones slips back. They'll move Quentin Moore into the 4th position. Macro still leads the way. We're coming to 3 laps to go this next time by. Now Macro's... Oh my goodness, there's going to be a lot coming down to the pit road. Brandon Yodel's going to stay out in car number 82 from 11th position. Joshua Harrison right there, not very far behind there in the Little Caesars colors as they come around for 3 laps to go. And everyone in this group here, at least most of them, should be good to make it to the end. I know Tuck will be for sure because he came down the pit road. Toll, I believe, also came down the pit road. We'll see if anybody else comes down this time. No. Doesn't look like it. Oh, DJ Reed will. A late entry down onto the pit road. But Brandon Yodel now leads with 2 laps to go, and Ethan Farley's right there. Zidell in 3rd. Rodriguez, it would be his 3rd win of the season if he can get up there in time. Joshua Harrison too far behind to be a factor, at least for now. Unless somebody comes down the pit road right here, not going to happen. The top 4 are going to be Yodel, Farley, Zidell, Rodriguez coming to the white flag this time. One more time around the Turkey Hill 250 here at the Darlington Raceway. 1.3 miles to go. Into turn number 1 they go. Farley closing in on the backside of the Mac Tools Toyota. Down the back straightaway for one more time. Will Farley make the move? Headed off into 3. Yes, he will. To the inside he comes. He'll not get there. Brandon Yodel trying to hold on for dear life. Coming out of turn number 4. So close. So many times it finally is materialized. Brandon Yodel wins the Turkey Hill 250 here at the Darlington Raceway. Excellent job by that 82 Mac Tools team. They're going to victory lane here on the granddaddy of super speedways. This team, Brad and Yodel, comes into this race 39th in the point standings, hopelessly out of contention for this championship. And they are going to victory lane. Ethan Farley tried making the move, once going to 3, and then again coming down the front straightaway, but could not get close enough to get around Brad and Yodel, and that 82 is going to victory lane here at Darlington Raceway. What a crazy race here in Florence County, South Carolina. Let's take a look at your finishing results here. Brad and Yodel wins by 73 one-thousandths of a second ahead of Ethan Farley. Zidell Rodriguez, Joshua Harrison, Roberto Crown Jr., Carter Joey, Eric Olson, Braden Perez, and Madison Tull rounds out the top 10. We'll scroll through the rest of your standings here. The only ones out due to an incident, the ones that fell out in the third caution: Merlin Calhoun, Martins Harrison, Jackson Harrison that is, John Andrews, and Casey Dean out in the third caution of this race, the final caution of this race. Keith Kent out earlier with a camshaft failure, and just a few laps before, under the caution, Derek Hamill fell out with an ignition problem on that 36. Well, what a way to kick off the Darlington weekend here on Labor Day weekend here on the Trinity River Network. We've also got the Turkey Hill Southern 500 coming tomorrow in the Cabela's Cup Series. This is just the start of a fabulous weekend of racing here at the Darlington Raceway. Congratulations to Brandon Yodel and that number 82 Trinity River Racing team. We will now take a look at your driver's point standings, your owner's point standings, and we'll wrap it all up here at the Darlington Raceway. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Welcome to the NOFSRL.